Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode on entrepreneurship. So we have Simone joining in. So Simone is the first. Simone is a fashion designer, mom, influencer, and a YouTuber. So thank you very much for being here. It's my pleasure to have you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So for the first question, I would like to ask you. So if you can speak about yourself and what you do.
Okay. So I am a fashion designer. I have my own label. It's called Simply Simone. We've had a really successful run. We actually just recently in October did our first ever fashion show with Ranveer Singh as our showstopper.
Okay.
He also happens to be a really old family friend and a childhood friend of mine. So that was amazing. And, just when that took my brand to another level, COVID happened.
Okay.
And fashion is officially one of the biggest hit markets in the world right now, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. So the thing is that we don't do ready-to-wear clothes that you wear here and there and everywhere. We do proper evening wear couture. And that means that our business is solely dependent on weddings and events. And as we know right now, we're in a place where there are no weddings and there are no events.
Yeah.
I don't know what the future of my brand holds. I don't know where we stand right now. But I also know that I'm not alone. And so victimizing myself at this point is not part of the game. It's about seeing where things go and how they go and just going with the flow till we know better.
And then, did you had this already? Did you had the background of fashion designing, or was it totally a new different thing in your?
Yeah. So I went to. So I'm born and raised in Dubai. My parents live in Dubai, and after that I moved to New York and I studied at the Parsons School of Design. It happens to be one of the best fashion schools in the world. So I'm super grateful that I got to experience that. Post that, I moved to London. I studied a little more at London College of Fashion. Once I got done with that, I moved to Bombay and I started.
Okay, wonderful. And so, like, how did you start it? What was your main idea of starting your own company? Why and was it?
So I think I am not really a person who can take orders from like authority very well. And so I realized that what's best is for me to. I feel like I'm more of a leader.
Okay.
And I wanted to kind of create my own path and find my own space in fashion. And I'm really grateful that I found a really nice team along the way. They became like family. And we created magic together. And now we're on an absolute standstill.
Okay. And how do you think, like, as you mentioned, the businesses, as it's we are affected by the pandemic, the world has come to a stop almost. And as you said, the weddings are not going to happen. So do you think it's going to is your business more dependent only on weddings, or is it totally, is it based on everything?
No, my business is entirely dependent on weddings. I would like to think it's 85% dependent on weddings.
Okay.
And maybe 15% dependent on other really important events like it's my 40th birthday, it's my 30th birthday, it's my 25th birthday. So it's all event based.
Okay. And so like how do you think you are affected? Because as the new guidelines, we have 50 members can be, in a marriage 50 members can participate. So how the statistics, like how do you come to a decision that it's going to be not a very good part for your, like a good time for your business? How do you come to that conclusion? So what are the?
I mean, it's not really rocket science right now. It's just straight up. You understand that every fashion designer in India makes their money between August and November because that is the kind of wedding season in our country. That's when everyone who is planning their weddings buys. That's when the NRIs come in and they buy. We go to like Hong Kong. My entire business runs on my exhibition model. So we exhibit year after year in Dubai, in Hong Kong, in Jakarta, in London, in Delhi, in Hyderabad, etc. Right? So we are very dependent on the exhibition season. And for obvious reasons, there's going to be no exhibition season this year. Even if there was, I wouldn't go. So it's very simple. It's not really going to take too much of thought to understand why I am in a mess. I'm in a mess because of the circumstances, and it is what it is.
Yeah, true. And then what are the bad sides and the good sides of being a fashion designer?
Well, the good side, well, let's start with the bad. The bad sides of being a fashion designer are you are dependent on your labor a lot, a lot. You are dependent on them giving you production on time, da 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 da.
Yeah.
The other bad aspect of fashion is that it is a very volatile business.
Okay.
One collection may do extremely well, and then the other collection may not, and then the collection after that may do the best.
Best. Yeah.
So there is no guarantees in fashion. It's every season, and also people's spending ability season after season changes. One season you may have money, the next season you may not. So even the consumer kind of differs his spending patterns through and through seasons. So it's a very volatile business. The good part about fashion is that it's an amazing feeling to see brides want to wear your creation on their most important day. It's a huge ego boost and a huge moral boost, you know.
Yeah.
Also, of course, associating with stars and celebrities and whatnot and getting them to wear your clothes is, of course, another great ego boost. So I think every business comes with its, fashion looks like it's a very glamorous business. It's not. The glamour aspect is very short-lived. What goes into the months of creating that one moment of glamour is the kind of hard work. But no complaints. It's been a great journey.
Okay. And then how do you stand out? There are tons of fashion designers. How do you think you stand out as a fashion designer?
So we don't follow trends at all.
Okay.
We are a very niche market. We believe in that every woman, when she enters a party, should stand out. Like everyone should look at her. So if you want to be the center of attention, then our clothes are amazing for you.
Okay. Wonderful. Yeah. And you as I mentioned in the introduction, you see yourself as a mom influencer. So what does that really means?
So, when my son was born, I actually made an Instagram page for him called Zephyr's Tales on Instagram. And in my head, it didn't start as a blog. It started as, everyone makes all these baby books for their children. The first time they walk, the first time they talk, put some pictures. I don't have the patience for that, right? So instead, I was like, hey, why not make a digital version of a scrapbook for Zephyr? His name is Zephyr. So I started a page for him and I said, chalo, when he becomes big, dekh lega ke I walked here, I talked here, I did this. So that was the intention of starting, but I didn't even realize how and when it just took off. And then my own page, which is Simone Khambatta, started kind of doing really well and getting a lot of brand interaction and a lot of engagement from real-time moms. Now my daughter, who is 11 months old, has her own page as well. Okay. So there's a lot of pages that we're managing now. And yeah, that's how it started. I love it.
And does it not becomes difficult to manage 3 pages and other you maybe you're working on other kind of projects and other things are going on around, so does it become difficult to manage?
I don't have 3 pages. There is Simply Simone Official. It's my fashion page.
Okay.
There's Simone Khambatta. It's my solo mom blogger page.
Okay.
There's Zephyr's Tales. It's my toddler page for everything about toddlers. There's Serena's Tales, which is my page for everything about infants.
Okay.
Then there's Mama Says. Mama Says is my YouTube channel, but we've also got an Instagram page for that. Okay. So it's a lot, but I thoroughly enjoy it.
Okay. Wonderful. And how would you describe this journey? How
it's so scared to cough nowadays in COVID. It's like, oh.
Yeah, true. Yeah, no problem. So how difficult was the journey for you, in the starting? Like what were your thoughts on starting your own business? What were you thinking before starting your business?
So when I started my business, I was in my early-ish 20s. And at that time, you have no fear in life, right? You're just just go for it.
Yeah.
So I went for it. And honestly, I feel like my advice would be to anyone who's starting, whether you want to be a blogger, whether you want to be a designer, or whatever you want to be. The bottom line is, if you want to do that, then you got to dive into the deep end with positivity and faith.
Okay.
There's no space for fear. There's no space for doubt. Fear and doubt are very natural and very normal part of human, the human psyche and the human way of functioning. But that's where we as individuals have to be mindful
Okay.
about our thoughts towards what. If you want to manifest something, then you got to be positive.
Yeah.
Or you're going to manifest the wrong thing. You'll manifest ulta.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So mindfulness is key.
Okay. And then how does it affect? Like, did you have at a personal level? Did you think you were affected by these things? Like coming to, if I speak about your mental health. So do you think you were affected through your mental health? Because when you like now we are into a stage where we can rest, we can do our work. We don't have much tension in the mind going on. Possibly you would, because you run a company. So what, at that time when you started, what were your thoughts? How was your physical health and mental health? What were things going on?
So I'm going to change your question around and I'm going to respond differently. Okay.
Okay.
No matter what you do in life or don't do, whether you sit at home the whole day, whether you work the whole day, whether you work for someone, whether you run a business, does not matter.
Okay.
Let's just understand one thing loud and clear, that 99.99 human beings across the globe have different levels of mental health issues. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's understand that.
Okay.
No one is free from it.
Yeah.
Okay. Fear, anxiety are a part of all our lives. For someone, it may be a really large degree. For someone, it may be a really small degree and they may be able to overcome it. But understanding that mental health is real, and that our mind loves to mess with us.
Yeah.
And our mind loves to send negative messages to us and tell us to focus on fear. It wants us to focus on fear. It does not want us to focus on faith. It does not want us to win. It wants to show us the darkest side of everything. It is all up to us. I believe in today's day and age, right? Like back in the day, if, when maybe before I was born, I'm 35 now. So before I was born, if someone spoke about mental health, ye to mental hai, ye to pagal hai, it was stupid. It was like people didn't understand what mental health is.
Yeah.
But today, people talk about it and it's more open, and it should be, because there's nothing wrong with talking to a psychologist. There's nothing wrong with talking to a therapist. It is very normal and very natural. In fact, releasing it from your body and from your soul is far more important than keeping it inside, because keeping it inside is what leads to cancer and diabetes and heart attacks and whatnot, right? You always have to release. The important thing in life is to release. Whether you can talk to your family, whether you can talk to your friends. If you can't, talk to a therapist. But talk. Let it out. Don't keep the shit inside, because it builds up and causes even bigger shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So always let it out. And please know that it's very normal to experience anxiety. It's very normal to experience fear. What I do is I practice Nichiren Daishonin's Buddhism, which means I chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. It is an absolutely life-changing practice. It's changed my life.
Okay.
It's made me feel so much more empowered. It's made me so much more mindful. It makes me convert my fears into faith. And yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. And coming to the back, what was your? Why did you think in getting you are a fashion designer, you got into being an influencer. So what was the reason you getting into starting a YouTube channel? What was the story behind that now?
So when I was pregnant with my baby, so my older child is 2.5 and my baby is 11 months. So the age gap between them is like 1 year, 5 months. Okay. And what happened is, while I was pregnant with Serena, my baby, I was on my son's page yapping through and through my pregnancy. Like every week I would do an update on, what I experienced this week, what I experienced, There was a group of people who were watching. And right after I delivered my baby, they called me up and they said, we want to have a meeting with you. And I said, okay. And that's when they proposed that they would like to start a YouTube channel with me.
Okay.
So YouTube came from them more than it came from me, honestly speaking. And yeah, it just happened. It just worked out.
Okay, great. So what would be your advice to anybody who wants to start their own business?
Now?
Not now. not in the sense, like just a normal time.
But even if you want to start right now, there's a lot of stuff you can do. There's a lot of you have to obviously be practical about what you can do. I mean, for all the kids who want to start fashion right now, no, don't do it. No, nothing's going to sell, right? Who's going to buy your clothes, and where are they going to go wearing your clothes? There's nowhere to go. Right? We're in such a crazy, crazy time of life. But I mean, like, who the hell thought that this, like, it's bizarre. Anyway, there's a lot that you can do online. There's a lot that's happening in the digital space. There's a lot that's happening in the essential space, be it food, be it, body products, be it skincare, be it toys, there's a lot of stuff we still need to survive, right? So if you're going to start, make sure that your business is relevant. Don't just try and fight all odds and be like, no, I'm a phenomenal fashion designer. I will start now. People will buy my clothes. They will not.
Yeah.
So keep it real. Always keep it real.
Yeah. Anyway, like, that's true. But after some time, when I don't think it's going to be there on the earth for, forever. So a time when so a time when it gets better. So what would be advice to people who wants to start the business after everything gets better?
When it gets better, we'll do a podcast again together, and based on the situation, then I'll advise you. Because right now, I don't know. I know it's going to go. Don't get me wrong. I know we're not going to live like this forever, but I don't know how many human patterns are going to change in this lockdown, right? They say it takes 21 days to change a human pattern. We've already been in lockdown for 3 months.
3 months.
Right? True. People have gotten used to so much stuff differently. People have gotten used to, patterns are changing. Lifestyle is changing. So true. I don't know what the future holds. It's too soon to say.
Yeah, wonderful. I just agree with you. And I think the same way, because a lot of people, I think possibly the food industry would be affected, because people have learned a lot of cooking, and people have got to know recipes, and they can cook in their house with a different
everyone's master chef now.
Yeah. So possibly food industry can be affected. So off the point, coming back to thing. What would be your advice? Like, not into business. What would be your advice to people who wants to become fashion designers?
I think we have to wait and watch. I don't have advice to you right now, very honestly speaking. Fashion is very, very, very hard hit. I do know that people will get married again and all of that, but I don't know if people are going to want to spend that kind of money on clothes anymore. There's a lot changing in the human psyche right now. A lot.
Yeah.
So it's too early to say.
Okay. And what would be your special message at the end? Like, what would be message you would like to give, or anything you would like to speak about, or you think we did not speak about? You can just speak here.
I just think that, guys, no matter what you want to do in life, always keep it real. Always think of the bigger picture when it comes to how can you really help others through your business.
Okay.
If you can put the others first, your consumer first, you will always succeed. And of course, right now is a very difficult time for anyone attempting to start a business. But if your business is relevant to this moment, then please, by all means, start it. And otherwise, you're going to have to take a hold on it. And don't victimize yourself about anything, because you've got to remember that we're all in this together. Each and every single, there may be a migrant worker who is really messed up right now because he has no money and he has no food, and he is trying to walk home from one state to the other, as we've seen all over the news. Or you can have someone like me who is struggling with bills right now and does not know how to pay rent and does not know how to pay all these things, because we don't have any income for the past 3 months, but we're still paying salaries because we have labor working for us, and we can't not pay them. How will they survive, right? So each one of us is fighting our own battle right now. Allow yourself this time to take deep breaths and allow the universe to guide you, and just have faith that whatever happens, it's going to work out in your interest and the interest of all of human beings and all living beings, not just human beings. Animals matter too. Like that elephant thing that happened was disgusting in Kerala, right? It was horrific, pathetic. So I think this is the time for humans to awaken. My only advice to you is right now, before you think about business, before you think about whatever else, first think about the most important thing in your life, which is the planet on which you live. If we were responsible, we would not be experiencing this shit right now, right? We are irresponsible citizens of Mother Earth. and we need to get our act in order.
Yeah.
We need to, this is not hippie talk about, reduce plastic. Bloody well reduce plastic. Drink in glass bottles. Take your own steel bottle wherever you go. Stop buying plastic bottles. We can't take it on our planet anymore.
Yeah, true.
Save water. Don't leave the shower on while you're putting soap on your body. Put the shower off. Use a bamboo toothbrush. We have to make these changes. So if people want to direct their energy positively right now, please direct it to your real home, which is this planet, which has given all of us a huge slap in our face right now by making us sit at home. And it's our absolute responsibility to understand what are we going to do? What are we going to change in our life so that the planet benefits from it, right?
True.
So, yeah.
So yeah, thank you very much. You joined us today. It was wonderful. A lot of amazing things. It's totally new scenario and new topics. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.